And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show on a night where the Rangers began their swing through the Central Division with a central theme: buckle down and win. Round one, mission accomplished. Hi, everyone. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios. John Giannone, Henrik Lundqvist, Steve Valiquette. 4-1 the final. 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the third. And that second part, Hank, 2 goals in the third. We shouldn't be surprised that this team is dynamic in third periods.
Yeah, what impressed me the most in this game was the skating. You look at how they forechecked, how they played defensively. Yes, they gave up a lot of shots, but I felt like they didn't give Winnipeg a lot of time the few times they had the big chances. And they came from skating, and they did it all over the ice and really put a lot of pressure on them. And it led to a couple of goals for the Rangers. And I wonder if it was something they talked about going into this game. We're going to skate, and we're going to do it all night. And it really paid off for them. That was very impressive to watch.
And when they needed Igor Shesterkin, no shock, they got Igor Shesterkin. 44 saves, second most he's ever had in a game after the 46 he had against the Devils in his rookie year. He continues to amaze. And maybe it didn't seem like a night where he made 44 saves, but boy, was he Igor Shesterkin.
I think that Igor would really appreciate that night, because with the way that the Rangers did swarm the puck and outnumber Winnipeg in most areas of the ice, a lot of the shots were perimeter. So that's a night where you look at 44 shots and you kind of get taken away a little bit with how difficult were they. I thought this was a night that he managed well. Most goalies will welcome having, 45 official count at the end of the night. But, you know, it's one of those things where would you rather have 45 shots or 18, but have them all high danger? And I think that's a night that Igor will probably say, you know what, boys, I don't mind that.
Yeah. 42 saves in his first game against the Jets 2 years ago in Winnipeg, 44 tonight. 4-1 Rangers the final, and they took the lead, guys, in the first 2 minutes and 1 second, and it came off what Hank was talking about, skating, the forecheck, creates a turnover and an opportunity for Barclay Goodrow.
I think that again, was the key to the game for me. If there was one adjustment we saw early on, it was that when Winnipeg had 2, the Rangers had 3. When Winnipeg had 1, the Rangers had 2. And when they swarm with that kind of support, they then transition quickly the other way, and you have 5 guys in the picture because they're coming up together. And there's quick strides from the D, too, coming up behind. And as they stay on side here and they come over with that pressure, everybody gets pushed back. Winnipeg is forced to defend, but Trouba, who started skating 3 zones ago, has a jump on the play. He's able to pinch because he has that speed. He recognizes Hellebuyck is down early, and he makes the right play, which is the pass. It's the smart play to pass here because Hellebuyck can't move quickly to his feet, and Goodrow's the beneficiary, but again, I back that play up all the way into their own zone. They get out together, but the D are pushing up hard, and I thought there was support all over the ice, whether it was the forwards tracking back hard or the D pushing the forwards up the ice. It was really a two-way street in this game.
Yeah, I totally agree. It felt so many times Winnipeg came up with the puck, and they felt outnumbered. The Rangers came back with one extra guy every time, and when you saw the Rangers come up on an odd-man rush, it felt like the D-men joined in, so they didn't have as much, but it felt like they were able to create better chances the few times they actually got in front of the net, and it came from skating, no question about it.
And another goal that came from in front of the net was scored by, if Igor Shesterkin is the A-list star of this team, the one who skates every night is the A-list star, and that's Chris Kreider. 2 minutes into the game they score, 2 minutes left in the first period or so, they score again, and it's Kreider again.
Kreider net front, so he gets goal number 27 and 28 where he's in front of the net. Imagine there's an 8-foot radius around the net. He's got 28 of his goals right there. But what I love about the fact that, you know, he knows how to box out and he knows how to be able to get into a position where, did Dylan DeBello have any opportunity to check him? And I thought that when I was watching the Winnipeg defensemen going to the bench after the goals were scored, they were struggling to find their own composure. I've been on the plane before or on the bus before where guys are talking about, how are we going to check this guy? Whether it was Todd Bertuzzi back in the day. But I feel like, and I get the sense that Winnipeg had a really difficult time finding a way to get there first. And that's why Kreider's speed off the faceoff, guys, is so key, because he recovers the puck and then he gets it back to the point, and everybody knows what's going to happen next. Kreider gets himself net front as we have the elite passers up top, Zibanejad, Panarin, and Fox, and he takes his route there. Who's touching him? He's got all the room that he wants, and then when Panarin makes this play, Now, keep in mind, the Rangers make this pass more than any other team in the NHL on the power play, but now you're forcing the opposition to defend. So the intention is the cross-ice pass here, where he's looking for Zibanejad, but who's home there to pick up the garbage? It's Kreider. You know, that's all season long, right, guys? This goal, too, same idea for me, where it's everybody supports low, and then Lafreniere is hard on the hunt, and then you get that full swarm. Now, Zibanejad picks it up, but watch how Kreider doesn't have to break stride here. That's the key to an elite pass. Off the boards, Kreider lets it go through his legs, and all Hellebuck's left to do is have a hope check, because that's what a goaltender does when they don't believe they can stop a breakaway. They throw out the hope check, and he lays down on his belly, Hank. And I mean, Kreider's feeling it. You just look at the emotion.
And that's a world-class performance right there. And you see, I think a lot of times the Demon, they kind of step up because they think Kreider's going to receive that pass. And he just lets it go, and then he takes off. And you can see a lot of Demon have a tough time turning, because that's what's going to happen. At one point, they have to realize, I'm not going to catch this guy going backwards. I need to turn around and go forward.
Right.
And it's too late. And then Hellebuck, I'm not sure. It's a breakaway, and he's standing still, and it falls flat on his face. So, I mean, a big difference in this game was goaltending, too.
Right.
I thought Igor came up with the big saves. Hellebuck did not.
And then the IQ that Kreider shows, and maybe an overlooked or maybe not talked about enough part of his game. He seemed like he was cutting to the outside, so that's where Schmidt went, but then he cut around him on the inside, which is where the puck was going to go. You were with him for so many years. Speak to his level of hockey IQ.
Well, I think you're seeing a lot of result now from his experience of placement in front of the net. You've seen this play so many times now, where he also knows, the Demon know that they might use the board. And that's why you can see on this play where he kind of faked a little bit with his foot and let the puck go. And that little thing makes the D-man hesitate a little bit. Maybe should I step up or catch this guy? And before he knows it, it's too late.
Yeah.
And it was just a great play. And you've seen it so many times, and he continues to deliver for this team. Amazing to watch.
And the great part is he scored an insurance goal to make it 3-1 against the Devils on Friday. He did it again in the third period to make it 3-1 tonight for the Rangers.